Hello and welcome to another amazing edition of College Cooking on a Budget. I'm your host, Amber Johnson. All right, so today we are making something a little unusual. We're making shepherd's pie, but it's not like your typical homemade grandma or mother's shepherd's pie. This one's a little different. Specifically, we are adding a lot of potatoes, and not just simple, simple Ore-Ida, cream of the crop, your typical potato. No, we're also adding a little bit of tater tot. So that's just some of the ingredients that's making it a little different, but I'll break it down about what we need to have to make it a delicious meal that you can serve for everybody, your whole family, your friends, wherever you want. It's a hearty meal, and I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it.
The first thing that you're gonna need is 1.5 pounds of ground beef, or ground chicken as I have right here. Next, grab the ingredients you need to make mashed potatoes, so milk, butter, and of course, potatoes. Be sure to purchase a bag of tater tots as well as a bag of frozen mixed vegetables. And the last few ingredients that you will need is a can of cream of mushroom soup, a bag of shredded Colby Jack cheese, some garlic salt, and a little bit of black pepper.
All right, so the first step that you're gonna do to make this shepherd's pie recipe is you're gonna wanna start to make your mashed potatoes. So make sure you grab enough to make about 3 cups and rinse them off to make sure there's no dirt on them before we start cutting them up to have them be boiled. All right, so now that you have washed potatoes and gotten all the dirt off, it's time to slice them. Be sure to slice them kind of small, like in tiny chunk pieces. That's gonna help it cook faster, and so the whole process won't take as long that way. Now that you have cut up all of your potatoes, place them into a large bowl, and then just fill that bowl about halfway up with water. And then just put your potatoes right here on the stove, set it to high so that it can boil, and let it boil about covered for about 20 minutes, or at least until the potatoes are tender. So while you're waiting for your potatoes to cook, and you can go ahead and begin the next step of cooking your ground beef. Now, I am actually using ground chicken because I like it. It's healthier, and I honestly don't really like the taste of ground beef that much. And so you're just gonna wanna go ahead, open up your packages. I'm gonna just use a nice knife here to get it to go, open a little quicker. And you're gonna need 1.5 pounds. So they only come in 2-pound packs, so I'm just gonna put the first pound in, just like so. And then only 1/2 pound of the next, and I'll maybe save the other 1/2 pound for another recipe later on. And so you just wanna cook your ground beef or ground chicken over medium heat until it's no longer pink. So I'm just gonna let my ground beef just sit on the counter while I check on my mashed potatoes. And they actually look like they're done now. So I'm gonna walk over to the sink and go ahead and dump them out. All right, so now you're gonna wanna take your handy dandy masher and you're gonna wanna mash up your mashed potato. Just keep mashing until they're a nice creamy consistency. All right, so now you're gonna wanna add a few more of your other ingredients to make your mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna add a bit of garlic salt. Splash of milk. I'm using fat-free milk, but you can use anything that you prefer. And then be sure to add some butter. And I'm just gonna mix it all together. All right, so there you have it. You have your mashed potatoes are now all made up. So now we can go and focus some more on our ground beef mixture for the shepherd's pie. Okay, so with your ground beef mixture, you're going to wanna add your can of cream of mushroom soup. So mix that all in together, and then that should help get your ground beef mixture finished. So for your final step, you're gonna take your 13 by 9-inch baking pan. You're going to want to spray your baking pan with a little bit of oil so that way nothing sticks while you're cooking. And be sure you've gathered all of your ingredients into one area, because this is the big combining step where you've taken everything you've made and you've put it all into your 13 by 9-inch dish. So the first thing that's going to go in there is going to be your tater tots. And then just cut along the top of the bag. And you're gonna wanna spread your tater tots along the entire bottom of the pan. And just be sure to just cover the entire dish. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna take your ground beef mixture and you're gonna wanna spread that right on top of your tater tots. So just kind of thoroughly spread that right on top and kind of just evenly spread it out. So now that you've spread your ground beef on top, the next step you wanna do is you're gonna take your bag of mixed vegetables and just gonna cut along the top, just like you did with your tater tots. And you're just gonna spread this all along on top of the ground beef mixture. So just tons of different layers, kind of think of it like making a lasagna. So you've done your tater tots, you've done your ground beef mixture, you've done your vegetables. Next step is to layer on your hearty mashed potatoes just right on top. Lay it on big, big, big hearty clumps just right on top of your other layers. All right, so now it's time for my absolutely favorite part of any meal, cheese. Cheese it's like my all-time favorite food. If I could, I probably would only eat cheese. And so being able to add this to shepherd's pie, I'm very, very excited about it. I'm gonna put on a lot of cheese. You can put on as much as you want, but it does add a nice twist to your standard shepherd's pie meal. Your two-tater shepherd's pie has now all the ingredients in on, and you are totally ready to put in the oven. So go ahead, take your huge casserole dish, which is actually pretty heavy right now, and just walk it over to your oven. Be sure to set it for 350. And then you're gonna wanna cook it for about 40 to 45 minutes. All right, so now while you're waiting, this is the perfect time to be a great roommate and pick up your mess. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll see you in a bit. All right, so beeper's going off, so time to pull out your shepherd's pie. And be very careful not to touch any of the hot parts, because I tend to do that because I'm not the best baker. And then make sure you turn off your oven. And you just need to let your pie set for about 5 minutes. Make sure it's nice and cool before you break into it. But after that, you will be good to go. Thank you for watching another amazing episode of College Cooking. Shepherd's pie is one of my all-time favorite meals, and it's a perfect dish to share with family and friends. So this is Amber Johnson signing off. Bon appetit.